it's Sunday, we're all here. Woo! Here we are then. Sunday night on SAFC Fan TV, which means another edition of the Sunday Bunch, and we are that bunch. We got Michael here. Have you had a good day, Michael?
Not a bad day. You had one yourself?
I was asking you, man.
I know, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to replicate the paper.
Don't be nice. You're not normally nice.
Fine, ignore him. He's irrelevant. I had a good day then.
Fantastic. Dino on the end. We've been joined by Dino. Have we had a good day, Dino?
Nah, I'm here.
No.
You should have just gone, nah, we've got you here, so it's not a good show.
Jack, how's your day been, Jack?
It's been all right, Phil. Thanks for asking. How's yours been?
Not so bad. Not so bad. I've
Honestly, so when he asks you, you get a response. When I ask you, it's like, oh, I don't want you being nice and all that.
No, that's because I'm nice in nature, mate.
Right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well, regardless of that, I've been to church. Right. Okay. Before we start,
You wouldn't be let in.
Right. Well, maybe not. Before we start, we just want to say a massive congratulations to CONRAD and Catherine, who had their little baby boy a couple of days ago, Isaac. Hey! So, and all are doing well. So, well done to you. Thursday, I think, little Isaac was born. So, congratulations to CONRAD and Catherine on the birth of your son. And while we're doing congratulations, we want to say congratulations to Jack, who passed his driving test this week, didn't you, Jack?
I did.
Good lad. Well,
That's
a round of applause.
The second biggest news of the
Of the
SAFC
week.
Fan TV.
Yeah.
Oh, the week. There you go.
Dino's now the second-rate taxi driver of the group. So, you know.
Right, just very quickly, we are live, of course, which means you can join in via the live chat if you'd like to do that. Already on there, Robert Foster, David Walker, Las Palmas Macamu is normally first, isn't he?
I know, but I mean, he's let himself down. He was only third.
He's only third.
You know,
Colin Major there, Clayton
Get your game
Edwards,
going.
we know him, don't we? So Stephen Ensel, Calvin Lou as well, and DJ Earth, our friend who does the previous first, are all with us this evening. Well, it's happy days, isn't it? I mean,
It is.
Everybody's buzzing in Sunderland. Everybody's on up. It was another 2-1 win yesterday. It's just good times. We're sat at the top of the league. There we are. Michael, I think we'll start with you. Yesterday, Sunderland 2, Accrington Stanley 1. Overall, what did you think of the game?
Well, you said we were top of the league, didn't you? I could never get tired of hearing that. Good. Okay, I think that the first half an hour, we were very, very good. I think the goal maybe slightly, not too much, but it did slightly shake us a little bit. Now, I think we were forced to sort of resort to playing the long ball tactic. And that's not a dig at Accrington, even though it'll sound like a dig at Accrington, but like a lot of
Did you think
I thought it was a dig at
dig it
Accrington.
up,
Oh,
massive,
yeah,
Like,
Twist
get
it.
the big shovel
Yeah.
and just
Dig
sit
it
in the ground.
Digging in the ground and just dig an even bigger hole.
You're a terrible man.
Oh, I know, yeah. Honestly, lock us up through a
You wouldn't get that into church either, Michael.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
You've
Definitely
got
not.
some dirty secrets.
That you know about.
Yes.
Anyway,
But we said we wouldn't mention that.
thanks very much. But yeah, I mean,
He's dirty
yeah.
secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Right, come on.
This
Sorry
one,
about that. Come on then, Michael. go
Can
on.
look at that in my head now. I mean, we were resorted to playing that sort of long ball tactic, which a lot of teams in this league do try that. I mean, Accrington have got where they are in the league. They've obviously had a good start, and they deserve the respect that we have given them. I think we have been fairly respectful on the channel towards them. But the second half, I think we did start brightly again, and we got ourselves back in front. And then we had to grind out the game in some elements of it, but we did it well enough. And bearing in mind, I mean, I saw a lot of people going, what is it, 3-0s and 4-0s in the build-up to it. I thought that was going to be a much more close game than what people thought. Who's that guy? Short someone's product placement. Yeah, and then
Take a look in the mirror.
it was a tight game. I did actually say, I think
Yours
on
are
this live show I did with Thane that we would win 2-1, so at least for once I get the score right. But yeah, it was a difficult game, and to be fair, we had, I know you want to get more onto it later, but we had a lot of clear-cut chances to win that game more comfortably. But although it's a win, so you take it either way, and we're still top by a couple of points as well, which is even better.
Yeah, fair enough. Just on the chat there, Harry Lamb says, what do you think of the new keeper? We're going to get on to the new keeper shortly. We're going to do that. Antidepressant Mackham says, another great win yesterday. Great weekend, a win yesterday. And the Sunday Bunch today. Thank you very much for your kind comment there. Dino?
Yes.
It's happy days, isn't it? I mean, but overall, what do you think of the game?
To be fair, it was a really good game to watch. We created so many chances, and I mean,
very good ones.
I mean,
as well.
even when it went 1-1, I went, we'll win this, no doubt. Because for Accrington Stanley being second place, I thought they were awful.
I'm really glad no one made the obvious joke there.
Can I just say
Go on, Michael.
Can I just say that when you say when they went 1-1, I nearly said 1-1 up there. When they pulled it back 1-1, they were the team that could have gone in at half time 2-1 up. Like, I mean, I thought it was hanging on.
I would say
I think they were putting a lot of pressure on us, but equally they were leaving a lot of gaps.
And I would say, well, there was a number of times they were playing like a higher line up the pitch, and there was at least 3 or 4 occasions, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that, 3 or 4 occasions where we had one touch passes, and we were suddenly almost one-on-one with their goalkeeper. I was amazed the amount of times that we kept getting.
Yeah, but there was a couple of times there was pinball in our box. A couple of times.
Well, it was like sometimes it works and they get it into your box, but then sometimes they leave a massive gap. And was it you, Mike, who said it was 1 or 2 1-2s?
Yeah,
and you were running through on goal.
It was just, I mean, for a team who's second place, I thought we battered them. I really did. They only had like 1 or 2 spells in the game.
You're interested to know then, because I looked at the match stats, and guess how many shots it said Accrington had?
3.
Overall, it said they had 21 shots.
How many on target, though?
It doesn't matter.
4.
Yeah,
4.
But obviously, and it said, I think it said we had about 20 shots, 5 of them on target. But the difference between the stats is that their chances, from what I remember, were half chances that I felt we were dealing with okay enough, whereas ours were literally one-on-one, clear-cut chances. I think Embleton had at least 1. Stewart had at least 1, maybe 2 really good chances. One when he tried to round the keeper and wasn't able to do it. But the ones we missed were like, oh my God, how do we miss those sort of chances? So, but yeah, I mean, the period that you were talking about between then scoring and half time was the only time that I felt they looked really great.
Personally. Even the other spell they had was at the end of the game where it was like 85 minutes when they were piling the pressure on. But that's what every the leading team always sits back for some reason.
I think we brought an extra centre back on as well at that point.
I think the second place thing is just
too early, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, plus they played an extra game, which is why, and they won midweek, which is why they ended up second. So I don't think you can look at it as beat a second place team.
Bearing in mind the second place team is a mark of respect to Accrington, how they've started the season, even though it is early days.
I mean, their goal, I mean, set piece one out, corner. Yeah. Corner came in. I mean, them happen. Like people say it's bad defending. I'm not being funny. It just takes a half a yard to get in front of your man.
It was Luke Onana who's up against. I think Onana was struggling with a bit of a knock at the time.
To be fair as well, looking at the goal back, actually, to be fair to them, it was a good header.
How many of their players were over 7 foot though?
Oh, they were massive.
They were like huge. Really, I mean, there was like as tall as me. Just very quickly on the chat, we've got to give a shout to the mad mistake. Hiya, Terry. Terry is actually down. He's down in Liverpool, and so he's down there. So he says the Daft lads are back. Obviously, talking about you 3. We've got to say hello to Marion Trevels as well. There, thanks for tuning in. Davy FV, hello, a Brazilian fan. Wow. Yeah, my wife's a Brazilian fan of the Brazilian as well. Right, behave yourself. And DJ Earth coming up with the scores again. Latest score: Leeds 0, Liverpool 2. Liverpool playoff with a horror tackle apparently. Yeah, we just saw.
Do we know which player?
Jacob Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott.
Jacob's just put it in our group chat before we came on, but we've not a chance to see it because we were just getting ready to come on air. Overall view of the match yesterday, Jack. I mean, happy days.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a big result towards the end of the game. We've just came off the back of the international break. I know we've said it's still early in the season, but at the end of the day, Accrington are second there for a reason. They've had some good results so far this campaign. It could have been a potential banana stick. We haven't actually beaten them at home since we came down into League One. So I think it was a massive 3 points. That really gave me a lot more confidence in us, and it was a big test checked off. Can I stop you there? Because Alan Gardner on the chat says, all the 6 teams we've played have been in the top 10. Yeah, and we have and I think 4 of which have been in the top 6 as well.
So I think it was 4 of which in the top 7, and obviously bear in mind the game that we lost was a game where we created about 20 chances. And
have you got the stats again now? Are you by the stat man?
No, that's Staines' job now.
Guess who's back?
To him. Yeah.
Back again. The real Slim Shady.
We trying to sound like True Geordie? Back again.
No, we're not trying to sound like a
again.
Geordie metal.
Who?
Charlie who? But no, but as well,
Scored,
something I picked up on, I don't think we did ourselves any favours. Like, I think we actually did have a good performance, especially early on. But I think there was a lot of and I don't want to criticise the lads too much, but I think there was bits of sloppiness here and there. And I've not seen many people mention, and I don't mean to dig anyone out and have a go and be nasty here,
but you're going to.
Yeah, we're going to. There was a moment early in the game where Dan Neil, obviously, I'm not going to have a go and a good performance and a great goal, which is well deserved. He's been great this season, but he played this hospital ball back to Callum Doyle, and then when Doyle got the ball, he just kind of seemed to give it to the Accrington player. And that's two players who've been brilliant this season. So I'm not going to have a go at them for it. There was a couple of times Ross Stewart could have been through, but just a bit of a dodgy touch, kind of there was a couple. I think there was one occasion in the first half when he was down the right hand side. He was trying to run through on goal, and if he got a better touch when the ball connected to his foot first time, he would have been literally on goal. That's what I was trying to say. And I think there was a couple of times as well where Gooch in particular maybe gave the ball away quite easy. And you could tell when he got taken off, he was a bit frustrated with himself. But that's just the type of lad Gooch is. He's not going to be happy with that performance.
There was one occasion as well, I think in the second half, where Callum Doyle was messing about on the ball, and then we got dispossessed in our own box.
And that was when Sirkin played off the line. But that came from, I think,
we got lucky there, to be fair.
I think that came from a bit of a lapse in concentration from Doyle. So overall, I think it was a good performance. Really happy we got a great result. But I just think we didn't do ourselves many favours. That, to be honest with you, maybe that's even a positive, that we can still make a few mistakes and still have such a good overall performance and still get a win.
Put it this way, we'll play worse teams than Accrington.
No one can be perfect on the day. I mean,
but
9 times out of 10, probably them one-on-one situations, something different happens. But it's that one time where, like Ross Stewart, where he tried to round the keeper. On another day, he just does what he normally does and just sticks it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, there was a ball over the top on the right-hand side to Stewart about half an hour. And he's touched let him down. On another given day, that's a perfect touch. His pace lets him get away and he scores. So I think it's actually probably a positive thing, if anything. But there was just plenty of errors that you could pick up yesterday.
Just very quickly then, Davi FV says subtitles in Portuguese, please. Good luck with that.
What to do with subtitles in English?
Well, that's what I was going to say. He's got them on, but good luck with them translating Jack when he's going at 27 mile an hour. Before we go any further, of course, we do want to mention our sponsors, who are the One Football app. It's a superb app. If you haven't got it yet, you need to download it. It's free to download, and there is, of course, a link in the description below. We use it all the time. Dino loves it for his stats on all the players. If you go on the Sunderland players and stuff like that, I can tell you how many times they've passed the ball, and
looks like the amount of saves Lee Burgess made.
Well, it's that's it. But it's a fantastic app, and it covers everything, all the leagues, whatever football team you follow. All the major teams are on there. So if you want to download that, it is free to do so, and it's the link is in the description below. And thanks to One Football for sponsoring the channel. So thanks to them for that. So, fellas. Somebody mentioned about the goalie earlier. Well, for me, when I was watching it, from where we was, he didn't look very big. I've checked it out today. He's actually 6'4", so he's just a couple of inches bigger than me.
So you need your glasses on, basically.
Well, no, he just honestly in the goal, right? He just didn't look very big. And that now, whether that's because the Accrington players were all 7 foot or not, I don't know. But we'll go on to Hoffman. Dino, do you want to start? What do you think to him? I mean, I know we're only one game in, but your thoughts?
I mean, I don't want to knock the lad. He didn't look very. He didn't look very comfortable coming out of his box. He looked very flappy. I'd say flappy. He didn't look very. Like when the players were around him, he looked like he was like scared to come and claim it. Like there was a couple of times where he caught the ball really well in the crowded area, but there was a couple of times where I thought he got caught in a bit no man's land, or Callum Doyle had to see him come and get the ball because Callum Doyle was under pressure and the ball was heading back to the keeper. I wouldn't say he was anything spectacular off that performance, but obviously you've got to give him a couple of games to settle in. But he didn't do nothing what I wouldn't see Patterson or Burge doing, to be fair.
Well, to be honest, and somebody's put it in here. Anyway, I mean, we said, well, Harstrup and Patterson for a start, who's done so well. But you know, if they brought him in to be the number one, he's going to stick him straight in. And I'm sure when the guy signed, if Lee Johnson says you're the main man, that could have been, you know, a factor of him actually signing for us. But then also Robert Foster says, just remember Jan Karchov, because he's
Kirchhoff.
Him as well. I can't see down here. I haven't got my glasses on. If you all remember his debut, it was absolutely dreadful. It really was.
And then he ended up having a great 6 months.
He turned out to be, for as long as he was fit, he turned
as long as we had a competent manager managing him,
you know, he was.
Right
then, Michael, what did you think of Hoffman's performance?
There were elements of his game where I did think he did look a little bit nervous, but to be fair, that is his first debut with a bunch of players that he's probably only known for at most less than a week, maybe around about a week, and it's certainly the first game they've obviously played together at the same time. So I think there were parts of his game where I think it was 1 or 2 times his distribution wasn't great, but for the most part I thought it was okay. I felt that he was, I don't know, I felt reasonably comfortable with him in goal actually, but obviously bear in mind it's one game. You need to see how he's going to be when you're sort of getting familiar with your back four, because obviously with your back four or back line, whatever formation you play, and your keeper, that's where communication is needed the most. So I thought he did all right. I mean, I do agree with Dino that I didn't think he did. I didn't notice anything that was completely different to what Burge or Patterson did. And like I said, people know I don't mind Lee Burge, and I think Patterson's done well. So, but I mean, Hoffman, I think I'd be very surprised if we have not brought him in to be the number one keeper. Otherwise, I don't think Bayern Munich would have let us take him.
Right, fair enough. Just very quickly on the chat here. Oh, I'll tell you what. We'll go to Jack first, and we'll come back to this question because there's a question for you on there anyway. The goalkeeper performance yesterday.
I mean, I agree with Stephen Jones in the chat in. It was harsh dropping Patterson in the first place. I think Patterson's came in for a few games and not really put a foot wrong. Made a great save for Jerry Yates' shot against Blackpool. All but kept a clean sheet against Wickham. They probably couldn't have done anything about that last goal. And then he also kept a clean sheet against Wimbledon, which I think is actually the only clean sheet we've kept all season.
That's right.
So I was surprised to see Hoffman start. I thought it was really harsh on Patterson to do that in the first place. But I mean, we can have a look and say, you know, maybe there were elements to his game that weren't perfect. You know, maybe his confidence wasn't quite there and stuff like that. And but I think that comes with time. You know, you've got to remember this lad's in a foreign country. You know, he might not have spent. He might not. He's probably lived in Germany his entire life. Yeah. He's came to a new country, a bunch of lads who he doesn't even know. Let's be fair, he probably doesn't have even much knowledge of the club before he came here. And it's going to take him a bit of time to settle in and adjust. So I'm not looking into it too much personally. You know, it's his first game. It's a big crowd, especially for a young lad. You know, I don't think he's got much first-team experience. I could be wrong, doing quarters on that. So, you know, I think there's plenty of things that's probably made him struggle a little bit. But I think we'll just say a bit more down the line, really. So he settles in.
Confidence good to have won on the first day as well.
Exactly. It's a bit of a deep breath. And as he gets to know the likes of Doyle and Flanagan and Wright and the fullbacks a bit better, he'll probably build a bit of a relationship, a bit of rapport with them, and settle into the club a little bit more and hopefully understand, you know.
Well, it's as you've mentioned, it's a different country culture altogether. It's a different part of the world. It's a different type of league than what he's probably used to.
And as well, like a team like Accrington Stanley, where we've mentioned a few times, they're so big and physical, and the type of football they play.
It's probably one of the more difficult teams you could pick for your first game.
It is. Like, they might not necessarily be a technically good football team, but just the style of football they play, it's probably a bit like Stewart back in the day. Where, like, you know, maybe he's a lot of
Tuesday night in Accrington.
Like a lot of like foreign keepers who've just grown up with a different culture of goalkeeping might just not quite understand that, and you know,
it's weird because when we did the fan cams yesterday after the game, there seemed to be a mixed bunch. Some were saying, "Oh, the goalie, it was great," you know, and what have you. And
then you were going, "Oh, I've seen it."
Well, this is it. This is the beauty of football, though. You can watch the same game and have completely different opinions on things. Right, what we want to do before we go to this question now, we've got 90 people on the stream at the moment, 29 likes. We'd like you just hit the thumbs up if you would do that for us. That would be much appreciated. It'll take you a second to do that. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat on, just close that and you'll see the thumbs up and just smash that. We'd like to try and hit 100 as we want to do on a Sunday. And if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and that will help us out immensely. Bristolian Mackham, who's a regular down here, said, all right, lads, it was my birthday yesterday. Can I get a happy birthday?
Happy birthday to the Bristolian.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, the Bristolian
The
Mackham.
top of the league, great present.
And if the Mad Mistake had been here, he would have sang happy birthday.
Yeah, he would have done it all.
So
come and knock at the Michael Bowers rendition.
well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I said, but because the Mad Mistake's not here, then Michael Bowers is going to sing happy birthday for you.
How am I now?
Yes, you are, Michael,
You do not
and you
want
won't be awkward about it either.
Bristolian Mackham, I'm not going to sing because you don't want to hear my voice. But happy birthday all the same.
Right, okay. DJ Sizzle Watson, who's a regular on the channel down here, says, hello,
Here we go.
lads.
This is a question.
Question for Jack. Obviously, if you don't know, Jack does do some refereeing.
Although he's a bit out of practice because he hasn't done it for a while, so he's
to
a
be
bit
fair,
rusty.
To be fair, he's pretty good. He's at the standard of these League One refs, I would imagine. But anyway, question for Jack. Should the Accrington player have been sent off for the 2-foot tackle on Luke O'Neill? Can you, I know there's a referee's code, but can you talk about that or not?
Well, normally I would just say no comment. But unfortunately, I'm not actually 100% sure on the incident you're referring to. Now, I actually, unfortunately, wasn't at the match yesterday. It must be the first whole match I've missed in years.
Was you not at the game?
No, well,
I did not.
I watched the game, but I had my second jab on Friday. Now, I thought I'll be fine, but I woke up, well, Friday night, I ended up cancelling the 2 games I had penciled in to referee, which were going to be my first 2 back, funnily enough, in a while. So I cancelled them on Friday night because I was feeling really ill.
You were really
and honestly, my head was just spinning. I'm not going to go on about it because everyone knows, anyone who's had the second jab. I mean, Dino won't know because he's refusing to get the vaccine. We've got William Story over here.
Didn't think we'd hear William Story mentioned on here.
But no, I watched the stream. So maybe if I was on the ground, I would have been a bit more receptive. But I don't actually know the incident you're referring to anyway. So. But I would normally say.
Well, can I say something on the referees? I mean, there was.
Well,
no, you can't, Dino. We've got to move on with the show.
You can in a bit because I'm going to come on to a section about the referees. So then.
Marvelous!
Right. Yes.
So then you
put
can.
Jack under more pressure. So why not?
Right. Okay then. So as we said, top of the league, everybody's buzzing. We're all happy. What about a star man for you? Dino, do you want to start with that?
I mean, star
man waiting in the sky.
I mean, there was loads of really good performances. I thought Flanagan was outstanding. I thought Winchester was great again. Got his goal. He looks another level. To be fair, he's come on leaps and bounds. He's not even playing in the position he likes, and he's been class. I thought
he was also in Plainsy Club after the game.
I'm busy doing a new chant for Winnie Esther. It's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Like, would you agree? I thought he was
very, very good. Yeah,
and he got another goal. I mean, it's great to see a right back scoring goals. I mean, because McGeady's just not on it at the minute. McGeady last season it was all about McGeady and White. This season it's about everyone else apart from.
It's about Carl Winchester.
So what about a star man then?
I was going to give it to Dan Neil because he scored his first goal for the club, and last season I was like, Dan Neil, he might be a bit overhyped. I am a Dan Neil fan. He was amazing. But Ross Stewart, for me, gets it. He was unbelievable. He didn't get a goal. He should have had a goal, but he didn't get one. But his overall play was just fantastic. Everything came from Ross Stewart. He was laying the ball off. He was everywhere. He was in defence. He was up front. He was in midfield. Just everything he touched just seemed to create chances for other people. He was top class. He really was. So Ross Stewart for me.
Right. Okay. Just very quickly on the chat, Trevor Dudden. You know, everybody's buzzing in Sunderland, and Trevor Dudden comes in with his size 10s and said, good evening, lads. Question for you, is any one of you waiting for the losing streak to start, as everyone knows the nickname of our gaffer's got? Well, the thing is, it's just a completely different team now. You know, it's and I don't think we should be focusing on any negatives at the moment. I think we're on a high and we're buzzing. And
what have you taken?
And I think it's Michael's feet, to be honest.
Are you trying to say I'm stashing some illegal substances?
No, I'm trying to say your feet stink. All right,
because you don't wash regularly.
So I mean, we're not stupid. We're not going to go through the season, winning every game, and there's going to be ups and downs in it. But it just, as it looks at the moment, it's a whole different ball game. So hopefully, and I think you mentioned it. I think last Sunday, maybe he's streaky. Is going to be just a winning streak, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Just winning streak your way to winning the title, and then you can do a losing streak after we've already.
Speaking of streakers, my wife's downstairs as well. Once she's had a few.
Well,
drinks,
she was streaking when I came in.
Well, when she's had a few drinks, she's impartial to taking her clothes off. But there you go.
Or when you tempt her by going, oh.
Michael, what about a man of the match? A star man, an outstanding player for you yesterday?
Like Dino touched on, there was loads of great performances.
Dino touched what?
I didn't touch anyone.
Oh, right.
You dirty-minded individual. What an imagination Phil's got. Like you said, there was a load of great performances, but for me, the person that stood out to me most was Elliot Embleton. I thought that a lot of Sunderland's attacks came through him, and I felt that although he didn't obviously, I don't think Embleton got an assist for either goal, but a lot of the moves came through him, and it led to a lot of our chances.
Can I just say something? I must have watched a totally different. I was watching a totally different game. I thought Embleton done nothing. I didn't feel like he done anything.
I think he links players together on the pitch quite well, and I actually think
I'm sort of with you, Dino, right? Because people said, and in fact, a couple of people said, Embleton for man of the match. I don't think he had a stinker, but I don't think he was of the quality that he has been. In recent games.
I think there were other players who played better than him yesterday, and I'm sure I get on to that when I get my chance to say it. But I think Embleton.
Yeah, when you get your chance to say. So Michael,
I'll let Jack finish.
Do you know? I think in the second goal, though. Now I know there was.
I was going to touch on that.
Embleton could have lost
There's
that ball.
There's a lot of touching going on tonight. I'm not sure I like this.
You're the one who's putting the weird context on everything.
But did McGeady assist it?
Well, he did.
Yes, but I think Embleton doesn't matter about Embleton.
Well, yes, it does because he kept the ball well enough to give it to McGeady in the first place.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what,
if he lost the ball, I know what you're going to say. Winchester's pass, and I agree with you. And
I wasn't going to say that at all.
Yes, you were. And now you're going to change what you were going to say to make me look like in the wrong.
No, because it was on about Embleton, right? And where I sit, right, the move was right in front of us, right? And I was screaming, "There's a ball." Right, that Embleton should have played earlier, right?
Was it the Gooch?
And I'm going, I don't know.
Off the top of the head.
And I'm going, you've missed it now, because I find with our players, and certainly yesterday, they wanted one touch too many. Well, they should have just whacked
What's with all this touching, Phil?
Yeah, well, and so...
Go on, Phil, what's with it?
And I'm screaming, I'm going, that's it, you messed it up now, and then it developed, and it come to McGeady, and McGeady put the ball through to Winchester, who scored a my mate when I'd see. Just shows what you know. But yeah, go on. Sorry, back to you.
Michael, were you finished? Yes.
No, he wasn't. I don't think.
No, okay. Well, I'll just finish anyway. The point that what Jack's referring to is the fact that it was right before McGeady put the assist for Winchester in. Embleton, I think, did a quick quick flick on or whatever it was, but he helped in the build-up to that goal, which is essential, because obviously you get that wrong.
He kept the ball really well under a lot of pressure.
That's why I think that's why I thought he was really, really good, because I thought he was at the heart of everything. He was everywhere on the pitch. He was either out wide, he was drifting towards the centre, he was trying to link everything up. And although a lot of players had really, really good games, I felt like without Embleton's link-up play, I don't think we would have been half as successful as what we did. And even the one-on-one situations we were talking about before, half of them, I'm sure, came through Embleton as well. So I don't know. Maybe I was watching a different game to everybody else, but I thought Embleton was really, really good. I think he went a lot under the radar. I
think he's had better performances this season, and there were other players on the pitch yesterday who did play better than him, but I still think he had a good game.
I thought it was one of his worst performances in the shirt. Not saying that was really, really bad, but I think he's played a lot better against other teams. I thought that was one of his worst performances, even though he did play.
I mean, to be fair, if we say that's one of his worst performances and we still came away with a win, then what does that say?
It says we're a good team.
And we're top of the league.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, I mean, when I was watching it, it was difficult because I don't think any one player massively stood out because it was such a good sort of team performance. But I think Ross Stewart was, even though, when he was one-on-one with the keeper and stuff like that, tried to go around him. And I just thought back to when at Blackpool when McGeady was through and he went to chip him. And I was, I should have rendered the keeper. And I thought, well, there you go. But you're not saying, oh, you should have chipped him, you know.
Well, different situations call for different decisions. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, I think...
So is that how referees approach it?
Oh, very funny, Michael.
I think I'm going to get on to Ross Stewart a bit more anyway. But yeah, I thought Ross Stewart was sort of edged it for me, even though he didn't get a goal. But he's work ready. Somebody said on the fan cams, he said, he's up front, and then you see him, he's at the back, he's defending, and he's all over.
He's a nuisance for teams to play against.
So he's so much better than who did we have before?
Charlie
Who?
Charlie?
He still hasn't scored.
Still hasn't scored yet.
He's had more yellow cards and goals.
Right, David.
Is it not just written in the script for him to score his first goal when he plays against us in the cup, though?
Well, we'll get on.
You can score in that game. I'm not bothered.
We'll get on to that as well. Right, David Walker says Leeds 0, Liverpool 3, so that's my bet. The Swanee, never mind, not to worry.
Although we were just like to say we don't advocate betting.
Oh, go on, just have a little one. Just on Sunday.
Just a little one, Phil.
Just
a little touch.
Yeah, right. Right then.
Whoa. He hasn't had his goal yet.
Do I not get the same line, Starman?
I thought you jumped in and...
No, but I didn't get the
line. Who was your man of the match?
Well, fun enough as it goes. Well, I would say Carl Winchester for me. Don't get us wrong. I thought Stewart had a great game. Might not have scored and probably should have done. Holding the ball up really well and getting himself about everywhere. He helps out the rest of the team. I did think Embleton did actually have a decent game. I thought O'Nien was running about everywhere, really putting himself about. But I think Carl Winchester, even if he didn't score that goal, defensively, he's solid. He doesn't really let anything past him. When he's on the ball, he's just oozes confidence and stability. He keeps it. He can take players on. He makes smart passes. The goal he scored, funnily enough, he started off with a great, exquisite pass up the line to Stewart. The perfect weight and everything. When he could have quite easily toofed it, just send it long, found Stewart really well, and we end up scoring because of it. I just think he's such quality on the ball and off the ball as well, and got another goal, which I think he really deserved. And I'm really, really pleased for him. And
good finish as well. Very good finish.
It wasn't an easy one to take. And I think, going back at the start of the season, a lot of us think, God, Winchester right back, is this what it's came to? But, I think now, even if we were to sign someone else, I wouldn't see he could drop him. So I think he's been one of our best players so far this season.
You've got Huggins, haven't you? He was a right back, haven't you?
Yeah, but I really
have a hard time.
But what I'm saying is, even if we're going to sign someone else, like we've got Huggins, we've got Kenton Richardson, the academy. I think Carl Winchester's got to be the number one right back because he's been one of our best players so far this season.
Isn't it mad? At one stage we were like, "What is Carl Winchester? Who is he?" Like we knew not about him. Then this season, he's just.
Well, he came to us with the Winchester nickname, and we were like, "Really?" You know what I mean? But hats off to him. Right, just very quickly. Few ways you can contribute to the channel and the running of the channel. We have the super chat, which is enabled if you want to use that. It's still free to chat on the live chat, but if you want to contribute, we have the little $sign at the bottom there. You can select amount and do that. We also have a members club, which you can join for $1.99 a month, which is less than 50p a week, and you get all your members perks as well. And coming very soon, we finally got our finger out. We're going to get some merchandise done. There you go. We've got some SAFC Fan TV mugs. We have got, Jack's got on the... we won't sell them with the pictures of us on the back. That's a little bit...
we had that one.
Plus,
Well, you never know. Someone might just want to have the morning coffee with a photo of my face.
So the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is like, where is my Jack?
Well, I'll tell you what, right? I'm going to nick this now, and if anyone wants to buy it, offers.
Listen, but the thing
is,
it's the
highest bidder.
The embarrassment of we get them all done, and we've all got, because we've got the Mad Mistake there, and we've got me there.
Oh, look,
Jacob's there.
Look, it's an ugly mug on an ugly mug.
But it'd be really not be good, like if we all get them done, and then one particular person gets left on the shelf and we've got loads of them. So, and Dino's got, there's Dino's.
Yeah, no one will want that though.
We had to get a bigger mug for Dino. Just to
Have you seen Jeff's comment? He says, "Is there a Spanner Man mug?"
Jeff, there can be a Spanner Man mug. All right.
What's a spanner on the back?
So yeah, so we've that they'll be available in the next couple of weeks when we get that side of the month. There's going to be t-shirts as well, and they're all going to be reasonably priced, not these stupid prices.
£30.
These websites. Right. Moving back on then, yesterday's game. McGeady over the last few games has been off the boil. I thought he was a little bit better yesterday.
Great.
And I thought he needed to up his game yesterday to warrant a place in the side. Has he done enough? Do you think should I mean, we've got strength and depth now? Has McGeady done enough to get a starting place?
I know you're pointing out McGeady, but I think Gooch has been worse. I mean,
I don't think Gooch was that bad yesterday.
I thought Gooch was good. I did.
Really?
I didn't think he held on to the ball.
You must have seen the same game. Me, you, and Nick Pickering.
I didn't like. Normally, I associate Gooch giving the ball away loads, keeping hold of the ball all the time. I thought he was giving.
Hang on, how does he give it away if he keeps holding it?
Because he gets tackled and gives it away. But like he was releasing the ball at the right times. There was a time in the second half where I think it was Winchester and I can't remember Stewart and Embleton were keeping it really well in the corner, and they made an opportunity for somebody. I think it was Ross Stewart knocked it into Embleton. Embleton hit it over the bar, and like I just thought Gooch had one of these better games. The only thing we let him down was his finishing. And the thing what winds me up about Gooch, he gets tackled, and all he does is moan at the ref instead of getting back. And he got yellow carded for someone put in a tackle. It might have been harder than him, but he always reacts.
I think
always reacts.
For a player of 25, 26-year-old who's been playing consistent first team football for about 4 or 5 years now, his game maturity doesn't really show for it. It's the constant whinging. Fair enough, you get frustrated here and there. You might have you might bite at the officials, but at the end of the day, if the decision that doesn't go your way by going and complaining, all you're doing is really running the risk of getting yourself put in the book, and then you're playing the rest of the game on eggshells. You can pick up suspensions.
Most of his yellow cards have come from chatting back, pushing other players.
It's avoidable. Like when he got fouled yesterday, his first reaction was just to push him. It's like, look, I understand you're frustrated, but you know that by doing that, you're almost certainly going to pick up a card.
Exactly, and he did it too much.
I know you thought you had a good game. I thought Gooch was quite poor yesterday. I don't think he was good enough.
Right, well, just very quickly on there, Thane, friend of the show, says Gooch was his usual self, very frustrating. Decision making was very poor. Also, we need to give a shout out to Justin Rico. Good morning, lads. Tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Loving the start of the season, as we are all. Hello to our viewers in Canada. There's quite a few tuning in from there. Also, it says down here, James Sanders says, read somewhere that first thing KLD did was to appoint Speakman. Speakman was the one who identified Johnston. Seems to be working well so far. So it's all falling in place.
For anyone who's got a spare 30-40 minutes or so, there was the SAFC Unfiltered podcast that Danny and Frankie got Christian Speakman went on last week. Listening to the day, I just thought it was really, really interesting. Listen on how they're running the club. Just thought I'll mention it off the bat of that. If anyone wants to go
your friend Danny,
friend,
right. So
your friend Nick Pickering.
Yeah, sorry,
man.
Sometimes
famous friends. Michael, Aidan McGeady, does he deserve a start? He's
another famous.
I'll wait till these lads stop talking because they forget.
All right,
sorry, Steve.
Well, no, but you forget your mic'd up. You see,
so trying to go and get a Nando's after this.
Sounds a date.
Stop being a knob. Right, Michael
McGeady.
Yeah,
McGeady.
Sorry, Michael. I'm doing it.
There's always a weird context.
Right, go on, Mike.
Right, okay. The McGeady thing. McGeady has been poor this season. I'm not taking any away. I did actually think he was better yesterday, but McGeady I think's looked really poor compared to last season. I think it is compared to last season because last season it was rely on McGeady to basically create all of our chances and cross the ball in for a certain striker who's no longer here. Whereas this season, there's a lot of other players that are stepping up.
no goals.
What Jack said. This season, however, there's a lot of players stepping up and taking responsibility. To be fair, Gooch has been decent in certain games. I think Embleton's stepping up, Daniel's stepping up. We're not relying so much on one tactic anymore, and we're attacking a lot more through the centre now. And I think as a result of that, McGeady's not being, well, phased out's not the right word. He's not standing out as much as what you would expect to. Bearing in mind also that he is, what is he, 36 years of age now? 35.
He's getting on,
going on 36. And I think McGeady definitely offers something to any team in League One, but in a way, I'm sort of in agreement with you. I think McGeady, I think Gooch has been a bit better than McGeady, but obviously it's not a particularly high side. I don't think either McGeady or Gooch has been particularly great. So to answer your question, does he ever run on the side? I wouldn't complain if he got dropped, but I can see why he plays, but I do get your point that you want him to be at the level he was last year.
Just very quickly on the chat, Thane, friend of the show, says, does the Philly clone have a mug as well? Which I'm pleased you mentioned that, because the Philly clone is back just for 30 seconds. SAFC Fan TV would like to say a massive thank you to our sponsors, OneFootball, for supporting our channel. This is the only football app you will ever need. Every football fan should have it. You can follow your team, including all the news on Sunderland AFC. Keep up to date with all the players' latest stats. See how well they are doing throughout the season. To download this app, there is a link in the description below. Make sure you download that. And thanks again to OneFootball for your continued support of the channel.
And then there was just juice everywhere.
It was terrible. And I had to mop it up.
God, it was him at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was Michael touched it.
It was his fault, technically.
Right. Just very quickly, want to give a shout out to 4-0 written all over it. Fantastic Portsmouth YouTube channel there. That's Tom. Dan, I think it's Tom, they call him. He says, evening, gents. Congratulations on the current league position. Do you think this is the season it's going to happen, Tom?
God,
hopefully, it's like you follow Portsmouth yourself, so you're like, I mean, it's happy days at the moment, but
Sunday, Monday,
marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, something like that.
What would you know about marathons?
That's Tom from anyway.
I wouldn't know anything about. Don't even know much about
Or sprints.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, run a lot of sprints.
But you should be getting into running for next Sunday, Michael.
Ooh. All right. Well, we'll touch on that as well. Oh, we'll touch
touching everything, Phil.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to think of that.
So just check out 4-0 written all over it. Superb Portsmouth YouTube channel, great lad, Tom. So,
even if he does support Portsmouth,
so behave himself.
Not here for that,
McGeady, does he warrant a place in the team? Have we not asked yet?
You don't know me or him?
I don't think I've gave me.
I think
Jack given
his insight.
Yeah. I just took it as an opportunity to whinge about Coach, but obviously it goes out to him. McGeady's not been as good as he was last season or has been in previous years this season. I just think it's the style of football playing. I think in previous years, a lot of the time we've focused on McGeady. Jack Ross was a massive give it to McGeady merchant. I think you could see in the way we were playing, it was the focus. Once Madrid left, it was the focus of the team. Give the ball to McGeady and he's able to get out of jail free card. Even playing them with like a broken foot and things like that. And then I think last season as well, a large part of it was, well, give it to McGeady and cross it into Wyke. Whereas I just think this season with Stewart up front and the lads we've got in the midfield and in the wing and the areas just behind the striker, we're a lot more fluid and dynamic. We've got like
a lot less static,
different ways to attack, and I think we're not as one-dimensional. Going forward.
One Direction, I love them.
I know you do. You've got posters all over your walls.
Don't forget, McGeady did get an assist yesterday. So
don't get us wrong. I thought he was better yesterday. I thought
he was much better.
It was his best performance so far this season yesterday. But I think with the strength and depth we've got now, we've got no excuse not to drop him, because I still don't think he was very good yesterday. I thought he was slightly better, but he wasn't very good. But we've just brought Kiyoko in. I don't think he's quite at full fitness yet. You've got Broadhead. He's barely had a minute since he's came in, really. Pritchard, who's I think he's more of a winger, but you can maybe shift Embleton there or Pritchard.
More of a winger.
Sorry, more of a number 10. I was going to say. O'Brien, he scored a hat-trick in the cup. He's pushing for a spot. He's struggling. So I wouldn't be opposed to dropping him for a few games and giving someone else a shot because we really have got the options there.
I think, well, the key thing you've just mentioned there is options. More times than not, we haven't had options. Like last season, like, oh, McGee's not there. Chucking on 23's lad in. This time, we've actually got some strength and depth.
The thing is,
well, I think Thane's made a fair point. I think playing him on the right helped us. He was on the right yesterday. He's normally on the left, and he was better yesterday. So members he.
Well, the thing is regardless of whether he's been playing well or not, we're top of the league still. We're top of the league. Come on, shall we do it again?
Yeah, Phil, you know I don't like heights. I look down and I'm getting a bit nervous.
Right? Just looking down at the rest of the league, Jack.
Put the one of naked Karen on.
Oh man, you have to spoil it. Top of the league. It's great being up here. Dino, have we asked you about McGeady yet?
No, you keep forgetting. I think you feel okay. You keep forgetting to ask people. It's the same as everyone else. I mean, McGeady.
He's getting dizzy with the heights.
It is what it is. With
Oh.
McGeady, I mean, he's still a quality player. He can still skip past the player. It's just not really happening for him. Like his crossings, like I remember the first game of the season, his crossing just didn't even get in the box. He was just hitting it out all the time.
Was he angry or cross?
Good one. But yeah, I mean, if you do drop him, I wouldn't. I mean, Pritchard, like I think he could probably play on the wing. Like I'd love to see him get a chance.
Not much of an opportunity.
He hasn't really.
And he's meant to be quite promising. He came from Everton's academy. He's even on the bench in the Premier League.
I mean, like if you give him a chance, I think he could do something. Broadhead, I mean, he looks sharp. Every time I've seen Broadhead come on, he looks sharp. He wants
broadband.
He wants to run.
Oh no!
Cheesy jokes.
I mean, even if you took Dan Neil out of centre midfield and put Winchester there, you could even put Dan Neil out on the left because wasn't that where he was starting pre-season before?
I think he's too good in the middle, to be honest.
But he could even be better on the left. You just never know.
I think he's too good.
But if he got took out, I wouldn't be from it because, like last season, you needed him in there because if you didn't have him in there, you weren't scoring. It was simple as that. So I think this season, if he did get dropped, I've still got confidence in the team that they would even get goals and create chances even without him.
Right. Just
for getting on the referees yet.
That's what I'm doing. I'm pulling it out if you'll stop talking.
Because someone doesn't shut up.
Right, just
probably me, to be honest.
Very quickly, we've got 125 people on the stream. 61 likes. Only got 61 likes that way, man. Just hit the thumbs up. That's what you got to do. It'll take a second to do that. And I put 61. We've got to hit 100. Come on. I mean,
but they'll be doing us a favour.
We haven't even got a thumbs down yet, so
there's normally always one every time I go live, isn't there?
Well, I don't know. I suppose we could do that, right? So just hit the thumbs up. It'll take a second to do that if you don't mind. That'd be much appreciated. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, just subscribe. It's free.
We have 69.
We've got 69 likes now.
So that's better.
To do so. Well, 69 is always a
31.
Good amount.
69.
I've got a dislike.
Oh,
so there you go.
Hey, now who could that be off?
Thanks, Karen. Just very quickly before
it went away.
Oh, how convenient that is.
It's back.
It's Karen. It is Karen. Right, just very quickly.
It's gone again.
Right. Just very quickly, I want to say, I want to apologise, first of all, for anybody who was watching the live stream yesterday. I want to thank Tommy and DJ Earth who jumped on to try and assist Tommy. Loads and loads of technical issues they had yesterday. And it resulted in that they stuck at it and tried the best. So once again, a massive thank you to Tommy and DJ yesterday on the live stream of the game. But as I said, lots of technical issues. So we do apologise for that. There will be a live stream of Saturday's game, and it'll be in our Amsterdam studio anyway, because me and Dino, I think it's you, Villa, me and Dino are actually going to be travelling over to Amsterdam and doing the live stream from there. So that should be something to look forward to.
Will you be doing anything else in Amsterdam while you're there, making use of the different laws they've got?
No, we'll just be... What are you trying to say? You better this touching thing again?
No.
Oh, are you better the smoking thing?
Yes.
I don't smoke.
Yes, you do.
So, right. Jeff Allcroft, Spannerman says, up by Easter. We're getting back with that now. Is that what we're doing? Up by Easter.
We've said that every season and we haven't went up yet, so maybe stop saying it.
No, behave yourself. We got to also give a shout out to friends of the show, Marianne and Carl Taylor over in Boston,
Massachusetts.
yeah, guys, late. Going to watch the show now. Thanks for tuning in. We will eventually we'll go out on the road doing these shows, and we will come to Boston, Massachusetts, and we will do a show with Marianne and Carl Taylor.
Do a live stream there then.
Right. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll all go. We'll do that in time, definitely. Right then, standard of
there we go. DJ had said it.
Standard of referees in League One. We've complained about it because there's been some shocking decisions. However, you know, it's the same for both sides. I know we can be a bit blinkered when we're watching it and what have you. I'll start with you, Dino, because you said we always leave you out. And
for me, like we always go at the referees, but the lines, I don't know if any of you seen this. The lineman made an absolute howler.
The who? The lineman.
The lino.
Was it?
The lino.
The lino.
The linesman, right? We had a throw in.
The referee's assistant.
Yes.
All right.
We had a throw in. He took the throw in and launched it down the line. Bear in mind, Ross Stewart was in an offside position, but as we all know, you can't be offside from a throw in. Doesn't matter how far up the pitch. The linesman started flagging for offside. Did you see this?
There was one at my side at the west.
No, this was when we were tackling.
Right. Well, there was one at our side. Exactly the same thing happened on our side. There was a throw in, and the same thing happened on our side. So it's
he put his flag for offside, and I was
wasn't
like,
given like
it wasn't given. But I was like, how do you not even know that? Why are you flagging for offside when it's a throw in? It baffled us. The referee
baffled you.
Oh,
I mean, most things baffle you, to be honest.
I mean, that colouring book.
The referee give Ross
basic maths.
The referee give
Getting dressed correctly.
Ross Stewart got a yellow card. Ross Stewart got a yellow card for like moving the ball not even a yard. And I think it just hit off Ross Stewart and he got a yellow card for it. Some of the challenges were unbelievable on some of our players, and it was just ridiculous. It really was.
Right, just very quickly on the chat. Last part, Malcolm says all referees are not very nice people, and that's what Jack's aspiring.
Oh yeah, that's what it says.
No, that says bastards. Bastards.
Oh, behave yourself.
Jack, go on. You got to try and raise the standards.
The thing is, we do have younger members watching, so we try and keep the French down.
Just go back at it and bleep that out.
Right, just very quickly as well.
I need a little bleep button.
Carl,
Carl
of the Black Cat podcast is on there. He's always tuning in every week, and they did come up and I finally got to meet him yesterday. What an experience that was! I'm only kidding, Carl. So great to meet you yesterday, and we did interview Carl on the fan cams. If you want to check that out.
Can I just point out, Thean?
Oh, I thought you meant you just to point out.
Thean has just said swear jar or anyone, and I think Dino should be made for some kind of.
That's not swearing.
10 push-ups on the table.
I'd break the table.
Well, then you have to buy a new one.
Yeah, with his shirt off.
At least it will get you a bit fitter for a match next Sunday.
You watch.
Right then.
Tear it up, don't
watch his space.
Moving on.
Michael, referees.
Oh, do you want to get asked on the referees?
Well, I thought last time when I can't. Oh, well, go on, Jack.
Go on, Jack.
No, you go to Michael then.
Oh, God, shouldn't you do me at the pram? Go on.
Well,
Michael.
I am only a child.
Okay, you've got to me, so I'll go to Jack. Referees. Dear me. We can talk about it. We sound less salty at the minute, or less bothered by it because we're winning games at the minute. But my goodness me. My goodness me, the referees in this division are atrocious. I don't know how much Jack obviously will be able to say about the referees at the minute, but the standard of it is just ridiculous. And it's not just this season, it's ever since we've been in League One. It's ever since we've been in League One. How many times I've seen many times we get given free kicks all the time when it's contentious at best. It's ridiculous.
Sorry,
Thean just made a terrible
I'm
joke.
sorry. The thing is,
go on. Have a listen.
This Thean's just put something in, and
says
me and Dino just spent the last 30 seconds trying to explain it to Jack
Well, no, you didn't say a word. You went.
Yeah, you were like,
feel free to explain it. Go on.
And then I eventually, so the things have to comment in Dino, you, Bar, Stewart. Now,
Okay,
Michael, it's gave Michael the giggles, it's gave you the giggles, it's gave you the giggles, but it hasn't gave me the giggles.
Because you don't understand what
you
it means.
didn't.
No,
You just think about Stuart.
Right, no, I understand it now.
He's like,
No, right, well, I wasn't doing that with my tongue.
Is Ross Stewart in a bar, is he?
No, I understand it now, it just still isn't a very funny joke.
I'm
sorry. Right, okay. All right, let's move on. All right.
Jokes aren't funny when you have to explain them.
Right, okay. Let's.
Right. Long story short,
With an F.
long story short, referees are atrocious. Jack, it might have been you who said something along the lines of that referees in this league aren't full-time officials,
Nah,
something like that. They're not. They're
It's
not
not until you get
employed
the championship.
Yeah. So well, exactly. So until that changes, unfortunately, we are going to see this standard of officials. But either way, it's a joke. There's times yesterday where. Obviously, we had a couple of decisions like what Accrington could have arguably gone down to 10 men. We had a couple of free kicks, which I thought was soft. There was so many different, and it's not just the referees, the lines officials, the fourth official. They've all got their own jobs to do as well. They're just terrible, and I hate talking about them. But unfortunately, most weeks they see when we're repeatedly saying most weeks the referees are.
Did you say you'll just keep this short or something? You said just.
Yeah, well, extended edition. I guarantee you we won't be the only set of fans complaining about the officials. If they're getting complained about most weeks, it's about time the FA do something about it.
We've got Thursday Night Live to prepare for.
Right. Well, this is what we said.
Okay, the end.
It's the same. It's the same for both teams, sort of thing. I mean, the standard.
We've had our own decisions. Yeah.
Robert Foster says, "How many drop balls did the ref give yesterday?" I mean, to be honest, I mean, I drop a lot of.
Please don't finish that sentence.
All right. Okay. Right. Let's get on to you because we're running out of time. Jack. Referee, standard of refereeing in League One.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it before. Michael touched on it there. Sorry for saying.
Oh, not again.
Not again, man. Oh, come on.
But yeah, referees don't get paid a full-time salary till they get the championship. So a lot of these refs have, these refs will all have, unless they're dropping down a level, all have jobs during the week. Full-time jobs, and there's only so much you can actually dedicate to being good at your job when it's only full time and you can't make a full time level. They don't go to training like the Premier League ones. Refs do. They have training, they review the decisions, they have talks with other refs, more experienced refs to get them better and talk about how they can improve. So things like that would probably improve the standard of refereeing. But unfortunately, it's just the way things are in this league. And I think the one thing I will say is that if we want the standard of refereeing to be any better, then we'll better get ourselves promoted.
Yeah, let's just go. That's it.
And then, fair enough, look, referees are never going to be perfect. Even in the Premier League with VAR, there's still mistakes that are being made here and there and decisions that people are disagreeing with. But
what you're saying, what would you rather have, VAR or the League One officials?
Oh, right, no, fair enough. Obviously, we'd rather, but it's just a point of like referees are only human, and sometimes a decision is made. So you're not human. Sometimes a decision's only made based off of an opinion. So it's just one of them things. It's just like
the thing is, if a referee from League One, League Two want to get promoted like a Championship, Premier League referee level, don't they have to perform well in a game? To get promoted. I mean, these referees are making the most easiest decisions, the hardest thing in the world. It is ridiculous. I think if them have more games, it's more times they kind of knock games up for other teams because, I mean, you're not performing well. A referee, you're not doing what you need, like footballers need to do. You need to train to be better. You're just watching like what other people are doing. They're making a decision on it.
I mean, people often complain about the lack of refereeing in this country and compare to other countries where it's supposedly better. But I think one thing a lot of people are unaware of is that there's a massive shortage of refs in this country, which means getting promoted from the grassroots.
Short refs. I could ref.
You could ref them. Getting promoted from the grassroots level right away at the top is easier than it is in other countries because there's not as many refs to go around. Therefore, the standards have got to be dropped a little. And that's just something that I know from doing it myself, that there is a shortage of referees. And that I think at the moment, the last time I looked at it anyway, there's more referees dropping out every year than there is picking it up. So I think that's potentially a reason why.
Are you trying to get the Premier?
I haven't pursued any promotion yet, but if anyone wants to referee, there you go as a shortage. Try it yourself.
Right, okay. Right, we're just about there because you've got to get away to play football, haven't you? Just very quickly,
referees don't play football.
Are you refereeing the game?
No, I'm playing.
Referees don't play football, do they?
Listen,
referees can't play football
badly.
I'm better than you.
This is you are better than me. This is quite an easy question to answer, but. the Black Cat podcast says, what will make Dino smile?
I've smiled loads today.
Nothing. That's simple.
Clearly he's not watching.
Well, there you go then. Right, that's just there's loads we haven't. I suppose there's loads we haven't touched on, but that's it. We're sort of out of time now, anyway. I just quickly want to mention that we are actually next Sunday. SAFC Fan TV are playing Newcastle Fans TV in the return leg of our five-a-side match.
Nearly 2 years after the first one.
Yeah, well, that's COVID for you, isn't it? So
that's COVID.
That's all coming out. We'll explain more about that for you on the Thursday show. So that's something to look forward to, and we're gonna film it all. We'll film the day, and then next Sunday when we're back here, we'll all be high-five and all that.
We won the game.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. That just about wraps it up then, fellas. Michael, have you enjoyed the show?
I've been very touched by it.
I'm not taking you home.
I'm probably trying to touch you in the car.
No comment. But yes, good show.
Nice one. Dino, have you enjoyed the show?
Nah, hated every second of it. I wish I was home.
All right, okay. Jack, how's it gone for you?
I've really enjoyed the show, Freddie. Thanks for asking us on as always. And lads, thanks for your company. Thanks.
You know what we need to do? Just don't invite Dino ever again, and we'll just have me, Phil, Jack, and Mad Mistake.
Or just the three of us.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
The two V's and Monkey.
Yeah.
You don't need the third one.
All right. Just very quickly before we go, then we've got 76 likes. So if you can just get another 24 people to just hit that thumbs up, get us to 100. We'd like to see that on there on a Sunday. Much appreciated, and we would love you all forever and ever. We will be back on Thursday with another edition of Thursday Night Live. Once again, thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It is free to do that. And we will see you all on Thursday. Bye.
We'll see you soon.
SAFC have teamed up with our sponsors, OneFootball. This is a superb football app and the only app any football fan will need. You can keep bang up to date with all the latest news coming out of your club. Transfer news when the transfer windows are open, see where you stand in the league. All the league tables are on there. Any information you need regarding football is in the app. You can download it for free via the link in the description. Do it now. And once again, thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV.